Hello, everybody on the internet. As we continue our lockdown, as we were probably approaching the end of it. And, to be fair, I'm not completely locked down, but there's not a lot I can go do, and there's not a lot of places I can go that are open. So I've been trying really hard to find ways to entertain myself while being kind of stuck at home. One of those is making these Red Dead Redemption videos on YouTube. And I'm going to enter the brave new world of outfit design videos, as you can see, and I'm showing you right now one of my outfits, which is called the Black Mask. And the Black Mask, I originally came up with it thinking I want an outfit that's specific for my bounty hunting, and it looks a little bit like a vigilante. I kind of by chance or accident stumbled upon the idea of using the balloonist goggles to represent the type of mask that Zorro or the Lone Ranger would wear, so I didn't have to put up a trimmed bandana or whatever, because that affects how NPCs and whatnot interact with you, and I didn't want to always have it up. Plus it's kind of a hassle, and there's a lot of bandana glitches where they disappear and stuff from your outfits. So I wanted something else, and I thought that the balloonist goggles worked really well as a mask. Other than that, the concept is he wears all black. And I've built several different versions of this outfit over the last couple months. In fact, I made this one just a few days ago, and it's different than the ones that I've made in the past. As long as it's all black, it doesn't really matter too much. In fact, I will probably do an expanded video on the Black Mask where I show you not only a different average vehicle, but I do a hot weather outfit, an average weather outfit, and a cold weather outfit, all of which represent the Black Mask alter ego of my character. Before I get too deep into this, though, let me just talk about outfit design videos in general and how I have seen them over time. There's several guys who do them that I think are really good. Voog is one of my favorites, VOOWG. He's got a YouTube channel where he creates outfits, actually mostly from single player, which I could do, but then he creates these incredibly edited and put together cinematic vignettes for these kind of characters. And yeah, sure, they're really Arthur and John, but he creates them as if they're separate characters. And he creates these just great vignettes for them, and it's really kind of fun to watch. I don't have the capability to do that because I'm not quite sure how he gets the footage, quite honestly, and I don't have enough patience to edit it together the way he does either. Another one who does a really good job is Voyageurs Revenge. He focuses a little bit more on creating cinematic action sequences using the material from Red Dead Redemption, but he also has kind of tried to create some really interesting outfits over time. His shtick, if you will, his gimmick that makes him different than everybody else, is that he heavily uses the some mods on the PC version of the game, and he mixes and matches an awful lot of single player and online and NPC elements in his outfits. He also does things like break down the roll outfits, which normally you can't break down. He does a lot of things with these mods that he creates outfits that nobody else could make. You can't make otherwise. The game itself doesn't allow you to make them, either because the elements aren't all in the same place or the elements aren't usable the way that he uses them. So his are really good. And then the third one, I think, is Don Mosh, and he has a whole series of outfit videos that he makes. And he usually focuses on like a concept or a theme, and then makes a hot, average, and cold version of an outfit that kind of sticks with that theme or concept or whatever. And I will probably kind of migrate more into that. There's a couple reasons for that. Don Mosh's video technique is a little bit more attainable. Obviously what he's doing is he has his character walk around in cinematic mode in these three outfits, and then he goes to a wardrobe and shows you how he did them. And I can do that. That's something that's attainable to me. Where Don Mosh does things that I can't do is his collection of outfit elements greatly exceeds that of mine. And I've built up a fair bit of stuff over the last couple months of playing, but there's also a lot that I don't have, and there's a lot of limited time stuff that I either haven't been around when it came through, or I didn't buy because I wasn't sure I wanted it, or I just wasn't able to get. Like, I don't have any of the Outlaw Pass 1 stuff, for example, because I didn't start playing till it was over online. So he has a lot of elements that I don't have. He also has a gift for taking elements that I don't even like, that I think are silly and would probably never have bought, and turn them into part of an outfit that actually looks pretty cool. And he also has a lot of color options that I don't have. But look through what I have, and it's not that I don't have any color, but I do have an awful lot of leather brown and black and gray, a little bit of white here and there. I don't really have a lot of the bold colors that he does, and because my palette is much more limited than his, I'm not going to be able to do all the stuff that he can do, obviously, but I'm going to do what I can. Anyway, none of those guys really talk when they show their videos. I probably will. It's my personality. Can't help it. I love the sound of my own voice, and I'm kind of a chatterer, so I'm going to probably continue to do that. And I also, because I wasn't really thinking about it when I recorded the video and when I did this, I don't even have them in the right order. My outfit is in one order. My outfit, showing off the outfits at my tent, is in one order, and then my character walking around with them is in another order. Because of the app I use, it's not quite as easy as you would think to just move elements. I decided to just not worry about it. It actually kind of is interesting where I go in one order and then I go do the other half of the video in reverse order. But as I go forward with, assuming I keep doing these, I'll probably change that. And I'll probably do this where I have more like Don Mosh's stuff, where I have a hot, average, and a cold that are kind of on the same theme. I'll do the walking around first, and then I'll show you how I built them in the same order, hot, average, and cold. That's probably what I'll get to in the future. Anyway, let me talk about the second outfit, which you probably will have already seen by now, which is what I call, it's kind of my default. I call it the original. It's an average temperature outfit like my black mask one was, although with a little bit of work I could make hot and cold versions of it that are still somewhat similar. This one has had a lot of little tweaks over the months, but the general gist of it is that it doesn't have a hat, because there's a lot of things that will knock your hat off, and that's kind of a pain. So I thought I'm going to build one without a hat and make it my default so I don't have to worry about it. I have glasses. I have a weird affectation where I like to have some kind of eyewear, and the brass spectacles go on most of my outfits. If I don't have something else in particular that I want to use, I just throw the brass spectacles on. I almost never have no eyewear. And then I've got the leather Hartman vest, I've got the leather Alvarado chaps, and I've got the lighter furry opulent vest. And those three are really kind of the core of the outfit, because they cover up anything else. It doesn't really matter too much. Oh, and I also have the red bandana with the white spots. Because of that, you can't even see what shirt you have, so it doesn't really matter which one you put. You can't see the pants except for if you look at him from behind and you see his butt a little bit, so it doesn't matter too much what pants you have, although I went with brown leather that matches the chaps. Why not? It doesn't really even matter which boots you have, so sometimes I kind of like to mess around with the boots just to do something different. Like right now I have the brindle shoes, which are kind of just Indian style beaded moccasins, and I kind of like that. I'm not really I don't really care that much about boots, because I really kind of, between the worn roper boots in several colors, which are basic cowboy boots, and then the Dunsinane boots, which are kind of, or the Harshaw boots, either one, which are kind of like hiking style boots, combat boots. I use those for most things just because I like them a lot, and I don't really care about boots that much. I should probably invest more in boots, because I could use that to add a little color to my outfits, but as it is, my boots are pretty utilitarian and not very stylish. But you can do whatever boots you want, you can do whatever gun equipment you want, you can do gloves if you want, you can hide gauntlets under it to add a little bit of warmth. There's a few things you can do, but the basics are the no hat, the bandana, the coat, the vest, and the chaps. The last outfit I'm making is a Confederate War Veteran, and I want to add just a little bit of context here. I'm an ethnic Southerner. My family came to the South originally from England in the 1600s. They lived in the South pretty much from then on. I did have a great-grandfather who went out west, but then my dad came back to the South, to Texas specifically, which is where I grew up. So I not only am an ethnic Southerner, but I grew up in the South. I'm also old enough that I remember very clearly when The Dukes of Hazzard was the #1 show on TV, and my second favorite book of all time is A Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs, who was a Yankee from Chicago, but whose protagonist, star, hero was a Confederate War veteran. In just the last generation or so, just the last few decades, there has been a major shift in terms of the propaganda and misinformation that has been published about the Confederacy, and they have been made out to be the worst villains in the history of the world. And the Civil War has been sold as a conflict about slavery, with the heroic North freeing the slaves from the despotic Southerners. Like I said, almost all of this is misinformation and propaganda. If you really want a starting place for how to unpack the truth about the Civil War, I suggest getting the free book from the von Mises Institute, which is called Reassessing the Presidency. There's an article in there. It's a number of essays by various authors, and read the one about Lincoln. It talks about lots of different presidents of the U.S. and how, in many ways, the ones that we are told are the greatest are actually the ones who made fundamental changes that stripped away rights and freedoms that Americans were entitled to, and presidents have taken them away. Lincoln, of course, being a prime example of that. And read the chapter on Lincoln. It's also very well cited. There's tons of citations, so it gives you a lot more places to go look for more material if after that whets your appetite. But I don't want to really get into the cause of the South, or how, what a lot of people think they know about the Civil War is in fact wrong, or at least it is so out of context that it's effectively untrue, even if it's technically true. I'm not going to get into any of that, and I don't really care that much, other than I am proudly and somewhat rebelliously celebrating the South with this outfit. It is a Confederate veteran, and the outfit is meant to look as close as is reasonably possible to kind of a Confederate military uniform. And now, granted, the game takes place in 1899. This is probably a combination of some hand-me-downs plus a few, non-military whatevers that have been added here and there just to make sure that you continue to have a full outfit to wear. But, I kind of like this outfit too. It's a hot weather outfit. I'll probably show off a few other things. My next series that I make, I think, is going to be focused on the concept of the bandito or desperado, and it'll have a little bit of a Mexican themed. That does not mean that when I show these outfits off, though, I'm going to make changes to my character. I'm not going to change his hairstyle for this. I'm not going to change his facial hair for this. My character's still a blonde American with hazel eyes, because that's just what my character looks like. And so, even though I'm going to be wearing Mexican outfits, he's not really going to look very much like a Mexican, unless he's one of those extremely fair Criollo types that's an 100% ethnic Spaniard. And even then, he's not. That's a long ways from what most people from Mexico look like. But that's going to be my next outfit series, I think, and I'll probably do that towards the end of the week, and then we'll see where we go from there. I may add other videos here and there, but I kind of want to add outfit series in as well, and I think that that'll be a fun way to do things a little bit different.